perhaps what it could be like, right, based on series of understanding that we have had over the years. And that's one of the things we want to try to promote in a session like this and in this summit. So I'll yield the floor to my colleague, Nii Adekanla, to take it over from here. Perhaps we'll all introduce ourselves and get to meet ourselves since we're not so large a crowd in this room. Good morning once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Femi. All right, very quickly. So just as he said, my name is Nii Adekanla. I'm a senior behavioral economist within the Policy Innovation Center. So, riding on what he established already, so we want to have that heart-to-heart conversation. What does a man's role mean as far as family is concerned? Has that been changing? Has anything morphed over the years? Is there a new turn to perspectives as far as role sharing, as far as joint decision making is concerned? So, what we are going to do is to have that. We can do it table by table. Pick a pair. Let's make a pair. Pick a partner. So you discuss it. Then we have that conversation generally at the panel level. So the question here is, in your home, what are major decisions? How are major decisions made at the home level? How are major decisions made? Specifically, as far as money is concerned, technically we'll put it as savings and any other thing that has to do with income generation. Then, speaking of children, child raising or parenting, and then health and family issues. So I want us to do it this way. We pick ourselves as two, that's in peers. So we discuss it, then we now come back to the panel. Let's now throw it open. Does that make any sense? In five, just speak to your partner. In 3 minutes, let's talk about it. So the question is, how are major decisions made in respect to money, children, health, family issues at the home front? Most especially, you can look at it from both sides, the contemporary perspective and the traditional perspective. Let's talk about it. So pick someone. Either male or female, yes. Let's talk about it. And please, your experience matters a lot here. You can share personal stories. If you know you just got married, go and join yourself with people that have been in the system for so long a time. I'm not talking to someone. Oh, okay. So whatever conversation you want to have now, just speak with your partner. Yeah. Sorry, do you have a partner? Oh, okay. In the next 5 minutes, we should wrap up and come back to the panel. Be mindful of your conclusions. The tenor of your conversation, we want to hear it out. If you are just joining us, what we are discussing is about this joint decision making at home front, the role of men and women. What does it mean for the 21st century family building? Decisions around children or child parenting, specifically money. So just pick a partner and speak to the person. Just talk about it, discuss it. So in the next 5 minutes, whatever you discuss, we'll bring it to the panel and have a dialogue around it. I wish we could have it in peers. Just pick a partner, one person. One person. Okay. We are discussing issue around joint decision making at home. So joint decision making around income, around finance, yes, finances, child rearing or parenting, and every other thing that has to do with contemporary issues, contemporary and traditional issues around joint decision making at home. We have less than 5 minutes more. If you are just joining us, the discussion at the front burner is around joint decision making at home, the role of men and women, decisions about parenting, health, income, and every other thing that has to do with family well-being. That's what we are discussing. Please remember to talk about specific instances where joint decision making worked well and maybe where it didn't work well. Let's begin to wrap up. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. We can stop now. Hello. Can we stop now? Hello. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Hello. Are we all done now? You want 3 more minutes? You want 3 more minutes? You are done, right? How about the other table? Are you done? Okay, please, we give you 2 more minutes. Okay, so we can wrap up now. Wrap up now. Can we go back to our seats? Let's quickly go back to our seats. Hello. Oh, we still want to stay this way, right? So very quickly, let's start with the first table. So, what was the discussion like? What were the specific conclusions that you were able to reach?
Okay, my name is Duni, and for my table, we spoke about how in our different families we have experienced different scenarios. I grew up in a family where my parents sit together privately, discuss whatever needs to be decided, and then bring it to us, the children, have a round table with us, get our opinion, and that influences whatever decision they'll make in the end. We had different experiences where some people have men who have the traditional mindset of I am the decision maker, excuse me, and whatever I say is final. And we all saw and concluded how that tears apart families, because when there isn't a united front, the family cannot build together towards a focused goal. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Someone else. I want someone else on the table. Thank you. Let's appreciate her, please. Let's show us some love. Yeah, someone else on the table.
Thank you very much. My name is Patricia Ajayi. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Economics, University of Ibadan. Actually, she has wrapped up what we said. But the issue there is that when there is no inclusion in decision making in the home front, the family can't move forward. When your spouse tends to take a back seat because you have this traditional idea as a man that I am the head and what I say must be done. If your wife takes a seat back, does not mean she's weak. It simply means she's allowing you to fall into the pit that you're digging. Then it doesn't also move the family forward. You move apart, you tear apart emotionally, physically, even financially, because you tend to spend separately and you spend 2 ways. So it's very, very important for men to understand that when you take decisions with your wife and your children, it doesn't make you weak, it makes you a strong man. It simply means that you are telling them that, look, I understand my place as the head of this home, but I also understand your positions in my life. And I think that what you do and the decisions you tell me will help me as a man build this home physically and spiritually. So I think it's very, very important that we don't look down on our spouses' decisions, and everybody should be carried along. And the children should also not be shut down. Whatever they say, could make some sense at some point in time. So,
Permit me to quickly write on that. What do you have to say about a specific nuanced situation in your home? How do you do it?
in my own home, I grew up in a home where my dad and my mom listened to us. And my dad would always throw anything open and say, "What do you think about it?" Because he felt that carrying all of us along was good. But then getting married was a different ballgame.
How
for
are you
me
and Daddy
entirely.
doing it now?
That's what I'm going
Okay,
to.
great.
Getting married is a different ballgame.
Okay.
Now I am married to a man who feels, no, I don't want to take your opinion. I have stepped back because, one, I don't want conflict. Two, and I am looking at him fall and many things failing in the home front. But you see, I'm also trying not to say, "Shebi, I told you so." Because when I say that, another fight will start. And so when, like I was sharing with them that my younger years in marriage, yes, I can do gra-gra, scatter everywhere. But now I know better. There's no point. Experience will teach you. So as men, it's very, very important that you take your spouse's opinion for it. Sometimes think through it deeply. The woman may not be saying nonsense. The children may also not be saying nonsense. It simply means that when you see that kind of family, you feel that, yes, they are together. But emotionally, they are apart. Financially, it's chaotic.
Thank you so much, Mark. Let's appreciate that very quickly. So, Mr. Sam, I want a masculine touch to that conversation. So, how is it done?
Okay, so that in itself is socializing. If whatever makes you think that a man's touch will be different,
Yeah.
you understand?
That's why
So
we're here.
that's a little bit of the invincible lines that we don't see, invincible pressures that are there, tilting us always to lean to that norm and stay there. I grew up in a home where, like I shared with them, it was two ways. There was times when you see everybody's opinion was brought onto the table, but there were major times that our opinion did not count and the decisions were taken. And there was a significant one that really, tore a lot of people apart. Some siblings of mine went rebellious because why take the decision, move us out of an environment, relocate us without notice, So it became a huge concern over the years. But I've learned to raise my own family as a partnership, and that's the way it is. I used to call myself the chief servant of my household because I prefer to serve, and it's paying me off. I give you an instance, and I give you straight up. That's my example. So that's the man's touch, right? But my man's touch might not be the normal man's touch. Now I'm a man that gave my wife an opportunity to go and study. I took my wife abroad and I left her behind. And I came back and I took care of the children. I took care of the children and I gave her the opportunity to move for 4 years. And I was here alone. She comes only home once in a year. So, and a lot of people, I know the kind of backlash, families side, even church, you say, "Are you wise at all?" I say, "Yes, we took the decision, yes." So, and now I'm not a regular man, so I might not give you the maximum touch. But those are the kind of things, and it pays me better because I'm not even afraid. Sometimes I'm able to do things because I know that my wife is capable of catering for the rest of it. So you see what I'm saying? So when families learn to run as partnerships, you achieve much more. The children grow much more, they gain much more. If you even see their outlook, you can tell they are much more than others. So I think it's just a shift. We need to start having these discussions everywhere, in social gatherings, in churches, in schools. Start letting people know that the roles and positions we assign on gender, right? We are the ones that assign it. It's not biological. It's not divine, as saying that it's God that all those things are like a sideway But when it's not working for you, you still go to her and say, yeah, do you have something? Share with me. Why didn't God give it to you? All right, so that's my angle, that we need to start having these conversations in more simple ways so that we begin to break down those lines that often create separation. Families where decisions are not taken together, everybody's voice is not counted, hardly progress.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Let's appreciate him very quickly. So now he made 2 points that really got my attention. Number one, he said he's not a regular man. Now it's the question in my head is that he said, so what is the idea or ideation of a regular man in the 24th century home setting? The second one is the fact that through partnership, I was able to do more. Now the question is, I don't want us to tilt on the part of partnership or joint decision making is the best model we can work with as far as this century is concerned, or this family making system is concerned. So what are the likely fallout to the so-called joint partnership decisions? I want specific experiences in this house. I know some of us are not too old like that will give us some over the years kind of old rugged cross kind of experience sharing. So table 3, I want us to give us, what are your conclusions? Introduce yourself before you respond. What are your conclusions? And then mention, if possible, some of the issues I raised afterwards. Over.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so to answer the question, my name is Moturayo.
Okay.
To answer the question,
Moturayo, where do you work?
Okay, my name is Moturayo Orikbeloye, and I work with the Aziza Development Foundation, head of operations.
Okay.
So to answer the question, we kind of split our answer into 2, as we were told to do. So under traditional, we mentioned that it's usually the men's world. So the person on the table who actually gave us that idea was Mrs. Udonsi. So the idea is that usually women are seen and not heard in the family where the man has that core traditional idea to what a family should look like. And we mentioned some of the factors that might be responsible for that. One of it is religion, culture, and the idea that a man has to be egocentric, basically. And then under contemporary, we mentioned some of the factors. We already know that what that means is partnership, collaboration, as the others have mentioned. Some of the factors that we identified here that allows for smooth collaboration in the family, and how a man now allows the wife to be involved in decision-making process would be education, economy, and awareness. We said education because now that a lot of people go to school, the mentality changes. And then economy because the economic condition basically just pushes the woman to also be out there fending for the family. And then awareness. A lot of organizations are now beginning to create awareness about what the family should look like. But then we also identified some factors that sort of ties both the contemporary and the traditional style of managing a family. And basically the overriding factor is the power dynamics. Who controls what? So we looked at it from the aspect of finance. We looked at it from the finance, basically, then we also identified environment. We identified finance, environment, religion, but finance, basically. So if the woman is also, like they say, what do you bring to the table? If she's able to bring something to the table, then it basically changes. She's able to say her mind and, hard to decision making in the family. And then Mr. Ni Ajayi here also gave his own experience as per that in his family he allows for collaboration, and that has helped the family to move forward. Mrs. Odunsi also mentioned the same thing, and every other member of the group, the table, they also attested to that. So she used her family as an example that they do decision making. The same thing with Mr. Ni. In my family too is the same thing. I could remember a time when my mom passed and my dad had to remarry. I was only 10 at that time, but my dad called a family meeting and he listened to each and every one of us. My brothers agreed. My siblings agreed. I was the only one who had a differing opinion. And I was just 10 at the time. And my dad asked me why. I said, because the African magic, the, the movies we used to watch, whenever a stepmother comes in, everything changes. My dad said, okay. So the first thing he did was to ensure that that woman becomes my friend. So he said, it is until I give my approval that he was going to marry her. And that was what happened. So we became friends, first of all, and then I later gave him the approval to go ahead to marry her. So.
All right. Thank you so much. Can we appreciate that? Very cool. So I think we're at a point where everybody is more or less a pro-partnership or joint decision-making marriage model, right? Now the question is, can we zoom in more on what the idea of a partnership-oriented marriage should look like? But before then, I want any one of the men, yes, on this table, to speak just in one breath, to speak to some of the things you discussed. What does that mean for today? Okay, you are not married, right? You don't have to be married. Maybe where you are coming from. As long as you grew up in a family, you can share experience. How did mommy and daddy do it? And you would like to model it in your own home as well.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Joshua Ravben. I'm the CEO of Biblical Billionaire Consult. All right. By God's grace, my marriage is 3 years plus.
Oh.
So I can speak from a little experience. All right. Growing up, I never saw my dad and mom quarrel in front of us. Right? I don't know how they do it. Right? And it's a model I wished that I will remodel, which is something that is going on right now. And concerning decision making, I remember when I wrote my SSC, I wanted to run away from the home because all my life I grew up with my parents. All my siblings were the ones that went out, and except me. So I wanted to go somewhere far. We are based in Calabar there. I decided that, okay, let me put ABU Zaria. So after my jam, I passed. My dad was like, except you'll be the one that will pay your school fees, then you are free to go. But as long as I'm the one paying your school fees, you're not going anywhere. So for like 2 years, I was stubborn. I keep writing jam, putting ABU Zaria, and then my dad kept declining. So I spent 3 years at home, and that period I was very angry with my dad. Now, why I'm sharing this story is the area the role my mom played was that that period, my mom was just obey your father. Just calm down, do what your dad wants. So over time, I had to submit, and okay, whatever you want. And eventually, he was registered the school, and eventually went to, and that. Now, you asked the question about fallout that comes from when both parties agreed in something. Is that both parties take the responsibility of whatever comes out from the decision that is being made, right? If it goes south, both parties bears it. And I think it's even the best that, okay, fine, now two of us actually make this decision. No? So whatever is coming out from it, it goes both ways, not one person bearing the load and the other one saying, Shebi, I tell you so. So I think that's, I don't call it fallout. I see it as even a way of growth. Right. In this, our generation where there's access to information, anybody that wants to play the I am the man thing in this era, well, it may work for you, but I don't see it actually working out well now, right? Like my wife, I asked her, okay, how do you feel we should go about this? Her opinion counts, right? Okay, this, like now, my child will going to school, okay, which school, right? What model of, okay, we went to different schools, okay, among all these schools, which one do you think we should enroll her into, okay, why this one? We had that discussion, right? Despite the money coming from one party, right? So it's not the one that, okay, I have the final say, and me they bring out the school fees. No, it doesn't make sense, right? Where to even stay, for example, right? I choose because last na woman get house, right? Yes, despite na man go pay the house rent, right? Yes, but this house, which one do you think?
All right.
Like?
Thank you so much. So, I want to add another layer to our conversation. When it comes to roles and responsibilities at home, for example, who does the dishes? Like, do the dishes, kind of thing. Like, who defines what comes to the table of one person? Did you get that question very well? So, all those cultural reorientation and morphology, or whatever the name is, how do we arrive at that point? And who has to decide who brings the money to the table? What is the table? Yes. No, it's been all around. Yeah, most especially Gen Z marriage, they say, what do you bring to the table? Now the question, what is the table? What should be on the table that we should bring? And what should a contemporary table look like? Can we have this conversation very quickly? You wanted to say something earlier. Is it in alignment with this? Okay, great. Let's have your thought.
Thank you. So, good day, everyone. Do I stand or sit? At a very interesting point here. So, good day, everyone. My name is Chima Ernest Okoli. I am the programs manager and gender specialist at Colen NG. And last year, during the 16 days of activism against GBV, I sat at an event in Yaradua Center with some very interesting ladies, and we had very interesting conversations, which spilled over to us creating a platform called Safe Space for Males. So what we've done over the past 1 year is to create a virtual platform where young men come together. We've gotten mentors across, and weekly a mentor drops a very interesting message and all of those, and the boys engage. We've had webinars and all that. And one of the major themes that we are beginning to consider is manhood, quote and unquote. What is manhood? What makes you a man? And this is so important because, of course, since the MDGs, the whole focus on gender has started, and women and girls are disadvantaged, and very much so. I mean, there's data. Our current National Assembly can just show you that on the political front, there's a big lacuna there. And thank God for initiatives like the special seats bill that is going on. So we began to look at manhood, and one of the very important things why I would avail myself of such a summit, and more men should be interested in the concept of gender, is that things are changing. The world is super evolving, and especially in this side of the world, it's more like gender is more of a female thing. That's what the past decade has happened. So whenever you say gender, a lot of men just switch off, and they just think women and girls, not even really understanding that basically it has to do with the social norms and all the norms that has to do with men and women, as it were. And so when you talk about what's the traditional role, what's the table, who should bring what, it's very important to note that things have changed, as it were, from the typical patriarchal society that we've had. A lot of improvement has happened over time, and this has affected society in such a way that it has caused different levels of challenges, and I will just mention a few. The first one is the whole red pill feminism content, where women hate men and all of those type of things. And there's the flip side, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We now have the red pill masculinity content. One very important example that, as we speak, is ravaging the whole internet space is the gay school of something, where it is just it's just very. So these are two very important opposites, and it is sad that in society, at least when it comes to puberty, right, when a lady begins to menstruate, an older female kind of calls her aside, a mother or a sister, you shall get some of those talks. But the major lacuna is that there is a gap in ancient societies. There's a rite of transition from boyhood into manhood. You either hunt down an animal or something. There is, and there you get inducted into manhood. You begin to see yourself differently. Older males can say some things in your presence, tell you some. You understand? There's that orientation. But because of Western education, we've lost that particular, and I mean, it's not even just something here, it's something that has even happened in Nordic space and all of that. We've lost that. So we just have boys going into 15, 16, and discovering that their voices are going deeper, they are growing beards. They're growing beards and all of that. And that's a major challenge. So we have people that are prepared to become women, and there's no mentorship pattern for the boys, and that's why we have some of the major challenges that we have now. So this table and who is bringing what and all of that, it is a big, even as we are looking at the Gender Inclusion Summit, it's a big deal that we have to begin to look at. There is a big mentorship gap. The traditional roles, as it were, what is called even traditional, has changed. So it's something that we have to really begin to look at again, and especially for the young boys because of the future generation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate him.
Thank you.
One person, just the last breath, so that we can join the other session that is already ongoing at the main hall. Okay, you have not spoken before.
Okay.
Okay, I want to speak from the aspect of the single ones.
Okay.
I'm still
Singles
single.
was not searching, single searching. Don't worry. Just mention your name and what you do.
Okay. My name is David. I'm CEO of RD7 Foundation. Okay, I want to answer your question from what I posted in my status this morning. It's just a list. I'll just run it, then I'll sit down. So it states, before you marry anyone, ensure you agree on these simple things. So, number 1, AC or fan. Onion in food or no onion.
I don't like onions. Okay.
Slippers indoors or barefoot. Lights on or off at night. Clothed in bed or not clothed in bed. Fresh meal daily or refrigerated food allowed. Blanket or not. Closed or open toilet seats. Loud or soft music. Hard or soft eba. Swallow at night or not. Spicy food or no spicy food. Toothpaste pressed from
How
below
long is
or
this
from
list?
anywhere. Don't worry, I'm almost done. Clean as we go or weekend deep clean. House help or no house help. Joint account or separate account. Public affection or keep private. Sleep cuddled or sleep apart. Drink water from cup or bottle. So it's quite long, but these are simple things that are not childish. They are in daily and practical realities of your life together. If you cannot agree or at least negotiate on them, you will live in daily friction and fights disguised as marriage. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so before we wrap up, there is a QR code you are meant to scan just to give your opinion on the session. What do you think about the session? Please, it will be passed across. Just scan, fill the form, and we can call it hey. Then, before then, this is what I want us to do per table. Each person, you come out. I want us to state or write, just scribble on this commitment wall. What should be, if we are going to have a charter for men, what should it contain as far as family commitment or family joint decision making is concerned? What should we be looking out for? Just one or two things, just scribble it down there, and then we'd have it documented as a proceed of this conversation. Does that make any sense? Okay, so I'm going to pass this per table. Just walk to the document wall, write it there. Please don't forget about the scan code. So while we're doing that, okay, you wanted to say something earlier as a wrap-up thought. Please just walk to the commitment.
Sorry. Okay. So I just wanted to speak to the part where, so you were talking about some of the conversations that should be had before marriage. And I was asking the question, can we really discuss the nitty-gritty? Because you realize that when you even enter into that marriage, there is still a lot more things to talk about. But I feel not that I feel, I think that grooming boys or mentoring boys and men is actually the deeper homework that should be done, so that when they get into marriages, they are better able to be collaborative, and it will not come as a threat to them, basically.
All right, thank you so much. Let's start doing that from the table. Let's pick it. We can pick it and write. We can just sit down or maybe start joining the call. So, lastly, we have seen different perspectives as far as this conversation is concerned, and one thing that jumped out of me is the fact that it's a conversation that we should not limit to the scope of religion alone. It should not be the only thing that should be left for pastors and imams alone. It should be brought to social gathering as this, because, as it were, when it comes to social and role assignment, things are changing. As a matter of fact, what changes the mind of people, most especially both the young and the old marriages now, is just on their hand. Social media. Before you say Jack, someone will hear something on social media and you take it hook, line, and sinker and begin to practice it. You begin to lay demands that are out of this world. That even the person that wrote it in the first place is not even practicing. So the point here is that it's important to underline that social role, as far as men and women is concerned, for marriage is dynamic. And as a matter of fact, not only women should have voices or be heard, but men as well. There are homes that, as far as this who is the breadwinner question is tilting or favoring one person, the other person is in the soup. And those things should begin to change. That's what the question of what constitutes a man, or what constitutes masculine, what constitutes a decision, and who should make it a home should not be a question that we should gloss over as far as social conversation is concerned. And thank you so much. Please, nobody is writing something on the commitment. If you don't write it, you are not qualified to go out of this place. As you are writing it, that's the path to go out. Thank you so much. What we are saying is that if you want to have a charter, a commitment device for men, what should be in it? What are the specific things you should expect as far as joint decision making is concerned in a family? It's yes. What do we want to see? In fact, could be just scribble something, a sentence, a phrase. For example, someone mentioned mentorship, something like that for boys. Be explicit. Just put it there. Mentorship should start from boys before they get to men. So let's be fast so that we can join the main hall. Thank you so much. Yes. Please don't forget to fill in the form through the scan code. Thank you so much. Have a great event.